Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Green Viper, and welcome back to my third day of Sage coverage here on the RadioSEGA YouTube channel. This is Sonic Eternal, and this is created by Nos DK. That's probably not how you say it. I probably butchered that entirely, but whatever. This is a fan game, as you can tell by the fact that this is Sage coverage, but it doesn't look too much that way. It looks like it could very easily be a hack, which some could say is a negative, but I sort of conceive that as a positive. It looks very much like the Mega Drive days gone by. So we have 4 zones to play with here, and we have 3 different characters, I believe. No, okay, we've got quite a lot of characters here. Huh. First of all, I'm noticing that this menu doesn't go in order at all, which is a slight issue for me. OCD. Shadow's bugged, so we can't play as him. Interesting. So we're going to kick things off with Sonic the Hedgehog. However, I do that because I'm pressing a bunch of buttons and it's not working. It's just flat out not working. Come on, you can do this. I believe in you, game. I don't want to use controller configuration though. Okay, there we go. So I don't really know too much about this. This is very much a blind video. From what I know, this reuses quite a few assets from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as well as Knuckles Chaotix, but you know, for the most part, the level design itself is quite original, and the levels also have some original assets. So it reuses some, and it also creates some. So it's not a generous sort of, you know, it's not like they've just pulled the sprites off of Sprite as resource and called it a day, because that definitely hasn't been done here. But visually this looks quite impressive if these are actually all new graphics and not taken from something like Knuckles Chaotix, but I don't think they are. Anyway, this is Mystic Jungle Zone, and we're going to be playing here as Sonic. Very odd complaint off the bat. Jump is on S, and I don't like that, because I'm used to jump being on A in these sorts of games, especially as well considering that most of the time it's on Z, so it's just a really odd decision. Maybe that's something simple that could be fixed with like a remapping screen. But this game supposedly has controller support. I haven't tested it because I'm playing on keyboard. But yeah, aside from that, not really too much to say here. This is really pretty looking, and I'm fairly certain this music is original as well, so kudos to the guys working on this one, because even though I don't know too much about it, it is supposedly pretty fun, and well, I thought it was worthy of a spot compared to some of the other stuff that's in the 2D section. I feel this is much more worthy of being shown off, so that I shall do. I don't know too much about the development history behind this game, like when it entered development and how far along it is and all that sort of stuff. I can't really comment, but this build, aside from Shadow being bugged, seems fairly competent. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing. Nothing like immediately too glitchy is popping out at me. This is made using Click Team Fusion, which is sort of the fan game standard, it seems, nowadays. But whereas I've had problems with other Click Team games, like running them, this runs smooth as butter. Don't have any complaints here whatsoever. Like, I think Sonic Advance Revamped was made on Click Team as well, and that didn't work on any hardware setup. It just did not run properly, which is a complaint a lot of people have with Click Team Fusion. The same could be said about Sparkly Electric Jester. That had a lot of running issues due to it being made on Click Team. But this seems like it plays absolutely fine. So props to the developers for actually fixing, you know, any running issues or any optimization stuff. Because this is really nice, actually, especially considering there's a lot of games that just flat out like refuse to boot in this contest or don't really work that well. But hey, that was Act 1. And now it's time for Act 2. We're going to be playing as Sonic, and we are actually going to be making a few cuts here and switching to other characters, because I want to show off, hopefully, as much of this game as possible. So we'll see how that goes. Probably not very well is the answer, because that will require a lot of edits, and I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah, what can you do? Also, I know I mentioned this last episode, but I'm so glad that this recording setup works now, because I'm recording off another PC and then using a capture card, which makes the footage look so much nicer compared to what you were seeing in the first episode that was a blurry sort of mess. But that's going to be fixed for the rest of the time now, and I hope you enjoyed Scottnick's episode. I'm actually recording this after having watched it, and I gotta say it was quite humorous. I wish I could go for something similar, but hey, we make two different styles of videos, I guess. Mine's more of a sort of first impressions, haven't touched the game before except for all the times it's crashed on me and I've had to restart the recording. Whereas he goes very, very much funny moments compilation, which is a dirty word around him, you shouldn't say that. One thing I forgot to mention, this game does actually have a peel out, and they've edited the peel out so it uses the Sonic Free sprites, so maybe that already existed on the internet, or maybe that was custom made for this game, who knows. Even though, as I said, the character sprites are reused, they really do fit in well. It's not like a lot of fan hacks or fan games where they just sort of put in Sonic Free sprites and it looks really unfitting. No, the sprites here that they've used from previous games definitely fit the environment and the music and the general aesthetic, so it's not like they just found like they googled Sonic sprite and they used the first one. No, they have they put some effort into their research. So here is the Act 2 boss. Yeah, it's a thing. I'm not really too sure what to think about this. It's sort of like the Sonic 2 boss, but not, and I can still hit him while he's sure, okay. While he's doing that, fine. Hey, that was Act 2, and now we're going to be cutting away. And for some reason, Sonic ran off screen on his own. I didn't have any control over that. Now we're going to be cutting away, and we're going to be playing as Tails in the second act right here. So enjoy. Oh no, Eggman's taking over the world, and for some reason, he's using his Sega Sonic the Hedgehog sprite. He's laughing maniacally at us. Whatever will we do? I know, we'll switch over to Tails. Mysteriously only have one life left. It's not as if I died multiple times in the last part. No, I wouldn't have done such a thing. But it's not as if I died multiple times before starting the recording. No, would never have done that. So yes, Tails, the one complaint I have of him is that he actually needs nerfing a bit. His flight ability is a bit too OP. He can gain a bit too much height with it. I don't know whether this will be useful at all here. Yes, it was. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff that you wouldn't be able to do normally in the classic game. So I don't know, perhaps give him less height off his flights. That's my conclusion here. But this brings me on to the point of the controls, and the controls and the physics actually feel just like the classic games. So that's a positive in this fan game's favour, is that it emulates the classics quite well. The feel and the control of all the characters, minus, as I say, that little nitpick with how Tails flies in the game. But what can you do about that? The answer is probably fix it. But out of the playable characters, I guess Tails has pretty much always been my favourite in Sonic. So seeing him quite broken here, it's heartbreaking. No, not really, but you know, you get my sort of point. It would make the game just that little bit more balanced. Aside from that, yeah, he's fun to play as here. Same as normal, really. If you played as Tails in one game, if you played as him in all the others, he flies. He doesn't jump as high as Sonic. That's really about it. This level design is very much designed with Sonic in mind, which is okay, because that means it's like a well-rounded level design, but at the same time, it doesn't do like the S3 and K in having completely original level, or you know, levels designed around each character, so it almost feels like a different experience every time you play, even if it's the same stage in that game. They don't really do that here. So maybe that's like something that can be worked on for the future, because I don't know if this is going to be final, or you know, if this is close to final, should I say. If it isn't, in that case, yeah, that probably can't be fixed. But if you're still like a few years away from final, then hey, that's a feature to work on if you're willing to make some improvements. But as a package, yeah, this is pretty cool. We're going to do one more zone after this, and then we're going to call it a video. Because I feel like 3 zones is normally, or you know, 4 acts. act, should I say, is normally a good sort of cap for these videos. You've got you got a good spread of levels right there, because this is only 1 act long, I believe, at least according to the document that I read beforehand. Yeah, so we'll find out right here, won't we? Nice music in the background, though, I must say. This is supposedly all original, so I don't know who the composer is, but big props to them. I'm loving what's going on here so far. Because here we are back once again with our boy Knuckles, and as you can tell, his sprite is clearly from Knuckles Chaotix rather than Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Also, I may have made a revelation. I don't know if the music is entirely original or not, as this is clearly Rusty Ruin from the Saturn version of Sonic CD. Shout out Richard Jakes, by the way, great guy. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is the music doesn't loop properly at all. It has an issue that I mentioned, I believe, in Petite Hedgehog, which is that the music will fade out and then it will fade back in again, which sounds really jarring when you're used to normal game loops which don't have a fade at all. They just continuously play. So that's something that needs to be fixed, in my opinion. Another thing you may have noticed that I don't think I actually pointed out is that this game is 4.3 only. So if you're expecting anything other than 4.3, you'll be disappointed. But I don't really mind too much, but at the same time, it's 2018, the standard is sort of 4.3, so it's a bit jarring, but I don't mind it myself. Yeah, aside from that, there's not really too much to comment on. Knuckles himself is also quite broken, because there's a lot of ceilings which don't anticipate them being climbed over. I found a way to completely skip the boss in Act 2 while playing as Knuckles, or Act 2 in the first zone while playing as him. So yeah, there's a lot of ceilings that perhaps need to be fixed. The one I tried to climb over earlier that you saw, that one had quite a high roof, but there's others that, yeah, are completely messed up. I'm not going to go and try and purposely break stuff, because hey, this is a good fan game and I don't want to show all of its weak sides. I want to point out some of the positives right here, because this, in my opinion, is a good game. I highly recommend you actually go and download it, and as usual, a download link will be available in the description. If you do so, choose to download this. All you need is a PC, you don't need anything else, you don't need to pay any money. That's the glory about the Sonic Amateur Games Expo. It's free, all you need is a computer. And more importantly, actually, it's free, but this is an event benefiting Child's Play charity, so go ahead and donate on their website to the charity if you haven't done so already, because it is a great cause, and I don't think I was meant to be able to do that. Oh well, this has been Sonic Eternal, and I've been Green Evaporate, and I'm sure I will catch you again for my final pick sometime soon. See you then.